Today on Bridge City News, New Zealand continues to mourn the victims of Friday's mosque shootings as they prepare for the burials. Ethiopia's transport minister says preliminary data from the black box of the Ethiopian Airlines plane that crashed shows a clear similarity with an earlier Boeing 737 MAX 8 crash in Indonesia. And part one of the Juno Awards took place last night at the gala and dinner. We'll show you some of the winners. Paul Arthur with the weekend edition of Bridge City News. It seems hard to believe, but the WHL playoffs begin next weekend. The Lethbridge Hurricanes finished off the regular season on a high note last night with a 3-2 win over Medicine Hat, making it 8 wins in a row. The Canes will take on the Calgary Hitmen this Friday at the NMAX Center. And the excitement of Lethbridge hosting the University Cup men's hockey tournament comes to a close tonight, with the championship game set to start at 6 p.m. at the NMAX. The University of Alberta will defend their national title against the University of New Brunswick. The Southern Alberta Model Railway Club held its spring open house this weekend. It's a fascinating hobby that includes a lot of attention to detail and also makes for a good social outlet.
The Railway Club is about people who enjoy trains, who like to build trains, who like the hobby of trains, who like to be with others, who share skills and teach one another how to do it. Just basically a club to have fun with. We meet once a week on Tuesday evenings from about 7 or 7:30 until around 9 or 9:30 in the evening. Age groups. We've got a new young member who's still in high school, and we celebrated one of our members' 89th birthdays last Tuesday.
It's a great way to meet people, get involved in doing a few different things, all sorts of different parts of building the layout and expansion, modeling buildings, and running of trains, electrical, carpentry, you name it, it's all there. So it's an exciting time to be part of this club.
You can drop in at the club's facility at the building in Gyro Park, just southwest of the hospital. Lethbridge police have issued an arrest warrant for Jason Samuel McRae after the 30-year-old was a no-show at Lethbridge Provincial Court on Friday for his hearing. McRae is charged with more than half a dozen offenses in relation to a Westside convenience store incident last November when he allegedly chased a female employee to a back room where she was confined for some time. BC's Court of Appeal will consider a key question regarding provincial powers in the political battle over the future of the Trans Mountain Pipeline expansion as a 5-day hearing kicks off tomorrow. The province is asking the court if it has jurisdiction to regulate the transport of oil through its territory and restrict bitumen shipments from Alberta. Alberta Premier Rachel Notley and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau have said only Ottawa, not the provinces, has the authority to decide what goes in transboundary pipelines. Alberta's United Conservative Party says if it's elected, it will create a new provincial park in Edmonton's North Saskatchewan River Valley. The party says the creation of Big Island Provincial Park would protect the River Valley from industrial development and would enhance the recreational potential of one of the greatest urban parks in North America. There would be a $10 million cost to create the park and an annual $300,000 budget for park maintenance and development. Spring break has brought with it higher prices at gas pumps across the country. Petroleum analysts say gas prices are set to rise once again today, with the priciest region being BC. The West Coast bump could see the price at the pump edge past $1.50 per litre, matching prices last seen in November. One reason for the increase is the annual switch to the more expensive summer blend of gasoline. A number of communities outside of Toronto are finding themselves inundated with floodwaters that forced dozens of residents from their homes. Officials say at least 85 homes have been evacuated in the community of Bolton, Ontario, after ice jams caused the Humber River to spill over its banks. Crews have been working to clear the ice while a temporary evacuation center has been set up at a local recreation facility. Another cabinet shuffle will kick off the work week tomorrow in Ottawa, the third such shakeup for Prime Minister Justin Trudeau in less than 6 months. Just days after the last mini-shuffle, Jane Philpott stepped down from cabinet, saying she had lost confidence in the government over its handling of the SNC-Lavalin controversy. A series of shuffles have been unfolding with a fall election on the horizon. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has shared a tragic reality with the leader of New Zealand. Both countries have experienced the mass killing of Muslims at prayer. Officials say Trudeau spoke with Jacinda Ardern yesterday, offering his condolences for the 50 people killed and dozens wounded following Friday's shootings at 2 mosques in Christchurch. Trudeau told her Canada shares New Zealand's feelings of grief and loss, recalling the 2017 Quebec City mosque shooting that killed 6 people. Trudeau also visited an Ottawa area mosque today in the wake of the attacks in New Zealand. As life slowly returns to normal in Christchurch, memorials to honor the victims continue to be put on display, along with increased police presence. Workers were seen today preparing the graves for the eventual burial of the victims. Relatives have been anxiously waiting for authorities to release the remains so the bodies can be cleansed and buried as soon as possible in accordance with Islamic law. Top White House officials are responding to allegations that the New Zealand shooter is a Trump supporter. Although the shooter made one reference to Trump in his manifesto, acting White House Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney suggested that the suspect also made clear in his manifesto that he is not a supporter of Trump's policies. Mercedes Schlapp, White House Director of Strategic Communication, also weighed in.
It's outrageous to even make that connection between this deranged individual that committed this evil crime to the president, who has repeatedly condemned bigotry, racism, and has made it very clear that this is a terrorist attack. And we are there to support and stand with the people of New Zealand.
Ethiopia's transport minister says preliminary data from the flight data recorder of the Ethiopian Airlines plane that crashed shows a clear similarity with an earlier Boeing 737 MAX 8 crash in Indonesia. Meanwhile, thousands in the capital of Addis Ababa mourned the nation's victims today, carrying 17 empty caskets draped in the national flag. Forensic investigators say it could take 6 months to identify the victims because the remains are in small pieces. Grieving families are being given sacks of earth taken from the crash site to bury in place of the bodies. U.S. President Donald Trump has tweeted that he finds it terrible that Google, in his words, is helping China and their military, but not the U.S. The cyber giant fired back today, saying they were not working with the Chinese military. Instead, they were working with the U.S. government, including the Department of Defense, in many areas, including cybersecurity, recruiting, and healthcare. Google has been under fire for developing a search engine for China that could allow for censorship and for not renewing a controversial contract that helps the U.S. military. British Prime Minister Theresa May is warning that it would be a potent symbol of Parliament's collective political failure if Brexit were to be delayed long enough to force the UK to take part in European elections this spring. May is expected to try to win Parliament's approval of her withdrawal agreement for the 3rd time this week. She also said that if lawmakers didn't back her deal before Thursday's European Council summit, Britain will not leave the EU for many months, if ever. At least 2 people were killed and dozens more injured following a landslide in Indonesia's Lombok region, spawned by a moderately strong earthquake. The U.S. Geological Survey says the magnitude 5.5 quake struck at a depth of 23 kilometers today and was felt across the island. Officials say the 2 fatalities were Malaysian tourists and occurred near a popular waterfall. 44 other people were injured, including 8 Malaysians. The main Juno Awards will be broadcast tonight, but last night saw several trophies handed out at the gala dinner and award ceremony. Shawn Mendes emerged as the big winner, picking up 4 trophies for Best Artist, Pop Album, Songwriter, and Single of the Year. Michael Bublé was on hand to receive his 14th career Juno for Adult Contemporary Album and to present his producer and close friend David Foster with this year's Humanitarian Award. Foster also took time to single out Canadian talent that has captured the world's attention.
We're leaders, we're not followers. And you think about the top four out of 10 artists right now are Canadian. That's very disproportionate. And it's absolutely true, right? You can't argue Drake, Weeknd, Bieber, and Shawn Mendes. You can't argue with that. They're top 4 of the top 10. I mean, they're in the top 10.
I mean, Andrew and I moved to LA with absolutely no money, kind of just like the shirts on our backs and a couple backpacks. And literally we spent every day just like trying to figure it out, like working with anybody that would literally respond to us. Like we were like, you want to get in a studio session? Amazing, let's do it. And I mean, we're sharing a bedroom. It wasn't fun, but
we don't do that anymore. That's how it's changed.
We don't do that anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, no, building on what Joe said, it's just a crazy feeling, because we were working for so long to try and just break down any door that we could, find any opportunity. And now the thing that's really changed, it feels like those opportunities come a lot easier. And now it's just on us to take advantage of that and the platform that we've been given and taking it as far as possible.
I feel an immense sense of responsibility to do this work. And to have a spotlight and a platform to share truths and to talk about the difficult dream we have in this country of actually working together.
Recapping one of our top news stories, Ethiopia's transport minister says preliminary data from the black box of the Ethiopian Airlines plane that crashed shows a clear similarity with an earlier Boeing 737 MAX 8 crash in Indonesia. And a look at weekend weather. Clear skies overnight with a low of -2. Tomorrow is looking great. Sunshine along with a southwest wind gusting from 20 to 40 near noon and a high of 12 degrees, and much the same for Tuesday. It's St. Patrick's Day, a time that we not only celebrate the Irish, but also the man who was St. Patrick. Hal Roberts sat down with Michael Corn to discuss what the true historic meaning of the holiday is. That's straight ahead. But first, here's a look at what's happening in and around your community.
Here's your Bridge City News Community Calendar. It's the 15th Annual Woods Homes Children's Benefit Gala taking place Saturday, March 30th at 6 p.m. at the Coast Hotel, Lethbridge. This special night is in support of the Emergency Youth Shelter, the CORE. This year's gala includes a delicious dinner, silent and live auctions, and live entertainment by the Chevelles. For tickets and sponsorship opportunities, contact Colleen Campbell by calling 403-317-1777 or visit woodshomes.ca. Lethbridge Legal Guidance is a nonprofit society offering free legal advice to low-income Southern Albertans. It holds clinics on Tuesdays from 5 to 7 p.m. by appointment only. Some of the areas the society assists in include family, criminal, traffic, immigration, EI, and other issues. For more information, call 403-380-6338 or email Lethbridge Legal Guidance at telus.net. And that's your Bridge City News Community Calendar.